All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We in this thing. We in this thing. Woo wee. My goodness. All right. And live hair check. Boom. We live, baby. We live. We live. We live. Hey, we live. We live. We live. We live in this thing. We live in this. We live in this thing. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do this thing one time. One time for the one time, baby. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Hi-Lite. Don't forget the real in the building, representing for the crew. Shout out to my boy Gresh. Shout out to my boy Jermaine. Your boy Hi-Lite Real holding it down. So yeah, we got an interesting post show going on for NXT Halloween Havoc. You know what I'm saying? What's good people? What's good? What's good? This your boy Hi-Lite Real, man. Just giving some people some time to tune in, you know. So shout out to y'all who have already tuned in. Holla at your boy Hi-Lite Real, man. Show love in the comments. Give your boy a shout out one good time, man. Let me know you in the building. All that good stuff, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Um, yeah. So NXT Halloween Havoc. Wow. What a show. uh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get right into this thing, man. I ain't even gonna hold anybody on tonight, man. We just got through watching the dope show. It's a Saturday night. But before I get into this thing, I gotta send a big old happy birthday shout out to the man with the plan. He's on vacation right now, enjoying himself and working, because y'all know how he do. He work even on his vacation, you know what I'm saying? But yo, happy big 31 to the homie Joshua, aka Gresh, as we all know him right here, man. I know he living it up and celebrating big out of town at an undisclosed location. So love you, my brother from another, my ultimate tag team partner. It's great to see you, man. And again, shout out to everybody that's joining in on this post show. Um, just here to talk Halloween Havoc. Not really gonna be before y'all long, man. We're just gonna kind of get right into this thing. So if you are in this thing, man, go ahead, shout yourself out in the comments. I greatly appreciate y'all, man, for all the love that y'all always show. It's great to see everybody up in here, even though I may not physically see you. It's great to be in the building. So let's get right into this card, man. So Halloween Havoc, first and foremost. One thing about NXT Halloween Havoc that I always enjoyed was that they always did pretty cool, unique sets. I don't know what it is, but with Halloween Havoc, they really love taking their time with the set. They always give you that spook feel, that spook theme. You know what I mean? You get the spiders, you get the webs, you get the ghosts, you get the skeletons, you get a little bit of all of that. So, great job on tonight's set. I thought it was pretty cool. Very WWE like, of course, and I thought it was just a really good vibe to set the tone for today's show. Show started promptly per usual, so that was good to know. And as you can see, it's not that late, so it's always great when a WWE show does not end all that late. So we kick things off with a tag team contest. Javon Evans and Mr. Leon Slater, you know, going up against Mr. Iguana and of course La Parker. Which y'all gotta excuse me. There's notifications. We live, baby. Gotta love that. ESPN, baby. But anyways, as I put my phone on vibrate, I thought this was a fun contest. I thought it was really cool. Mix of styles, if you will, a little lucha mixed with a little bit of high flying. I thought it meshed and gelled pretty well. Although I will say, what I looked at when I saw this match was there were maneuvers that were definitely jumping around in ways where I was like, I've never seen that before. But sometimes there were things like when Mr. Iguana and Javon like did a springboard and kind of like just about collided with each other at the same time. I almost couldn't tell if that was like a botch or if it was something they did more like on purpose, you know, just to show like, hey, we both had the same thought in mind. And I don't know. I thought about that with a lot of matches and moments in this match where there were some things that happened where I was like, I couldn't tell if that was a botch or if that was by design. Either way, it was a great match. I felt like that set the tone definitely for the contest. I think it did a great job in just setting the atmosphere for the overall flow of the show. As far as the card as a whole, I thought the card actually flowed pretty well for what it was. So I'm happy to see that. Um, and like I said, an overall pretty cool show to go on in a smooth 2 hour point, 2.5, I would say. Um, but yeah, I mean, not too much to really say about Javon Evans and Leon Slater. They picked up the dub, as most of us probably predicted. But again, still a fun contest. Shout out to AAA. I don't think too many AAA guys and girls have caught a lot of dubs yet. I know TNA. I'm thinking about these partnerships, and I know TNA has done some things where they've gotten some wins, but y'all let me know. Has AAA been getting any wins, or they just kind of just pull up and show up and just put on good matches with the talent? I don't know. I know they get wins on their show, but as far as like if they make a special appearance, I don't think I've seen any AAA talent just win on a WWE stage yet. But maybe I'm wrong. Outside of like I think Psycho Clown and them, I think had a tag match, and I think they won. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Going right into it, man. Like I said, the tag match was fun. I enjoyed it. That match went about 17, almost 18 minutes, which again was pretty cool. Um, Next up was the match that I honestly so far thought was match of the night. We had Ethan Page go against Dr. Wagner Jr. And this was a Day of the Dead match. Now, my only gripe in this one was probably the lighting situation. Purple lighting was an interesting choice to use, but I still thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty smooth matchup, pretty smooth contest. Honestly, first started off a tad bit slow, and I felt like a lot of matches did that, where they started off just a little bit slow, and then they picked up. But based off the match times of a lot of these matches, I kind of see why now. Shout out to Dr. Wagner Jr. I really enjoyed his ring attire. I like how he gave that throwback to the '97 Rey Mysterio Phantom outfit. You know what I'm saying, with his own twist. I thought that was really cool. I even thought, shout out to commentary for pointing that out. Sorry, y'all, my phone is still not on vibrate. I thought I put it on vibrate, but anyways, um, I love how Dr. Wagner Jr. Uh, even took the Rey Mysterio ripping of the mask part. I don't know if a lot of people y'all caught that. I'm sure a lot of y'all caught it, but just to anybody that didn't catch that, I thought that was pretty cool too, because I remember Eddie Guerrero was doing the same thing. Um, Now, obviously, this match wasn't meant to live up to what that match was, but I thought for this to be, in my opinion, the match of the night, I felt like they did about as good of a job as they could do, especially for a gimmick like match. I thought they did a pretty solid job with being able to kind of show tribute to the '97 Halloween Havoc with Eddie and Ray in their own kind of way. The only thing that I would have said, I picked Dr. Wagner just because I knew there was going to be one upset, one surprise off this card. That was the one I chose, but we had another surprise come, which I'll get to in a second. The last thing I'll say about this, though, is just hats off to both of these gentlemen. I thought they did a great job, and they really picked up the pace towards from like the middle to the end of the match. That really could have went either way. Salute to both of those gentlemen for a solid match. And in terms of match times, like I said, I'm not a big match time guy, but that match went about 18 minutes, 18:22. And then next up, we had the women's contest, which this one was actually, believe it or not, this was the shortest match. And this match was about 11 minutes, but we had our first ladies contest. We had Zarya representing Sol Ruka with the injury, and being the, I guess, interim North American champion by default, probably, sorta, kinda, however you want to see it, right? We had Zarya. I almost said Zoruka because of Zaruka. But Zarya defended the title against Blake Monroe in Sol Ruka's honor. Now, personally, I don't know about y'all. I thought the match was okay. I thought it was all right. Um, I don't really have a lot to say about this one other than the fact that I thought maybe, possibly, what would have made this match a little more interesting was a possible turn. I was thinking that maybe Soul was gonna like turn on Zarya, because I know a lot of people were probably thinking that Zarya might turn on Soul, But I was thinking in my mind, what if, like what if Sol Ruka's faking the injury and she turns on Zarya? I'm still trying to see if this is a Seth Rollins type situation where this is like a work or if she's legit hurt. Um, she has the brace on, but as we know with Seth Rollins, it's kind of hard to tell these days in wrestling. That's what we love about it. Kayfabe is not dead. So if Sol Ruka really is legit injured, then prayers up. I hope she gets well soon. But if she's not, what if she was to turn on Zarya? Interesting thought. Um, but Blake Monroe picked up the win. I'm sure a lot of people expected that. We knew that at some point, the moment she probably put her eyes on that title, we knew she was going to win it. And I'm sure that if Sol Ruka was able to wrestle, it probably would have been the same result. So should be interesting to see how her title run goes. Soul barely defended that title. She kind of just, it was kind of like props, So I really hate that we didn't get to see more out of Soul Ruka's title run. It was kind of more just, hey, look at me, I got 2 belts. So hopefully with Blake Monroe being champ, she can mix it up with some ladies, be a little more refreshing with the title. We'll see what she can do, what she tries to do with it. I'll be tuned in. I'll be excited to see what she's able to do, what kind of challengers she'll have. But yeah, that's about all I got for that one. Um, Now there was a backstage segment before I get into the next match because it looks like we had the women's matches back to back. So we had a little backstage segment. They gave us a couple of those, but it looks like we got another title match happening on NXT. Looks like we got the new Evolve Women's Champion and Kendall Gray going one on one with Lash Legend. Now, I find that a bit interesting. Why? Because I'm like, dude, why is Lash going after the Evolve Women's Championship right now? I mean, I get it. You guys need some challengers for Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray is awesome. She's a great talent. Some out there call her the female Kurt Angle. I can kind of see why. But Lash going after that title when she should be going after, I don't know, the NXT Women's Championship or the North American Championship. Like, NXT, what are we doing with Lash Legend? Either call her up or, you know, put her in a more high profile spot. No shot at Kendall Gray. It's just, I feel like Lash is above challenging for a title like that. But if she wins it by some strange chance, I'm not mad at it. But Kendall Gray probably is gonna get her first win, I guess. But WWE, I see what you're doing. Back to back black women going up against Kendall Gray. Really? You had to take the title from a black woman. Now you got another black woman as a first defender. Come on now. Don't be doing my sisters like that now. Don't do them like that. But uh back into the card now. We had the surprise of the night. Miss Tatum Paxley with the culling in her corner, that is, going one on one with JC Jane, and of course, Fatal Attraction in her corner. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This one was a pretty solid match, but it did have a slow start to it, in my opinion. Like at first, I was just kind of listening to the crowd. I pulled a Bully Ray, if you will, where he says, "I don't watch the match. I listen to the match. I listen to the crowd and see." I watched it and I listened to it, and it sounded like the crowd wasn't super into it at first. But as the pace started picking up, it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, probably right around the spot, the typical referee spot where he kicks the extra people in the corner when he does the kick out spot and is like, "Hey, you're out of here. You're ejected." When he does the ejected spot, the crowd really seems to go crazy for that. So it seems to me the moment they did that is when the match really started picking up even more. But yeah, no, this was a solid match as well towards the end. And not gonna lie, y'all, much like you guys, I was very, very shocked to see that we had a new NXT Women's Champion. Now, you know what? Let's do this. Moment of silence for JC Jane's title reign. All right, that's enough. But anyways, listen. In all due seriousness, man, JC Jane, bravo. You held that title not only longer than a lot of people thought you would, but you actually did a pretty darn good, decent job with that championship. And you accomplished what a lot of people can't say they did. You were a double champion from two different promotions, you know. Now, I feel like just like when she lost the TNA Women Knockouts Championship, I felt like this was kind of one of those sudden losses. Like it's crazy to me that all the times we picked against JC Jane, the one time that we pick her, she loses. But I guess that's the beauty of a title reign, right? Like when you don't want somebody as champion or you don't like someone as champion, and all of a sudden they like, what's the word? Lose the title when you least expect it versus losing it when you want them to lose it. I don't know. I like when wrestling has those type of moments. You feel me? So I think that's pretty solid. I think that was pretty cool for what it was. I'm very happy for Tatum Paxley. She is one of those women that have really worked hard from like the ground up, and it's really cool to see her get that moment. And it's fitting that it would happen for her at Halloween Havoc. Now, the only thing I wonder about is, do y'all think this is probably a transitional situation where she'll be champion for like maybe a week or two or three, and then maybe JC Jane gets it back, or because it just seems so weird to me that JC Jane loses the title now. Like this would have made sense when Fatal Attraction, Jesus, when Fatal Influence was kind of teasing that breakup and JC Jane was getting all big headed. This made sense for her to lose the title during that, but after they added Laney Reed to the equation, I don't know. I just feel like, yo, why take the title off of her now? There's got to be something deeper. Like I said, maybe that she's gonna get the title back, and this is like a transitional situation. But what I found the most interesting in this story is Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame clearly was aiming for Tatum Paxley, and if you go back and watch, it was very evident, right? She was not trying to hit JC Jane. That was a complete by coincidence moment. It was obvious that she really wanted to hit Tatum Paxley with that championship. She has been so obvious just from her facial expressions as of late. You can tell that she is so jealous of Tatum right now. She's jealous of the attention she's getting. She's jealous of the fact that, I don't know, like whatever her initial plan was with recruiting Tatum, she's clearly jealous of the success. So, with that, I'm intrigued to see where this story goes because Tatum's likely losing that title because of Izzy Dame instead of in spite of Izzy Dame, right? So keep your eyes peeled for that. Again, congrats to you, Tatum. Like I said, this match went all of, let's see, this match looked to be about 16 minutes, almost 16 and a half. But a solid matchup. Major congrats to Tatum Paxley on that. All right, moving on to match number 5. We had the tag team titles on the line. Dark State versus the Broken Hearties. Wait, I sounded like Wade Barrett, y'all. I'm sorry. I was trying to sound delightful. I'm still working on that. But anyways, um, solid match for what it was. It's interesting, really, because you factor in the Hardys' old age with Dark State's, you know, greenness, if you will, outside of Lucky Ali. But I don't know, y'all. It's like the Hardys gonna be the Hardys, but they're also limited. But matches like these, they'll always shine. Meanwhile, Dark State, I know y'all don't care for them. I get it. Like they're not it as a unit. Whatever they were trying to do with them, it's not working. And the fact that they got the titles back is kind of like, ugh, right? Now I don't know who's gonna beat them for those titles. I don't think they're gonna hold those titles long in the second reign. I think this is more so just to build them up. Whatever management is trying to do with them, they must believe in these guys. Despite what we feel, there's something they see in them, and I get it because Saquon Sugars, aka Lucky Ali, right? He has something, and Dion Lennox kind of has something. Yeah, all of them in their own way have a little something there. We just got to figure out. I don't think it's working together, but they definitely have something. So I guess congrats to Dark State for retaining, or not retaining, but getting their titles back. Um, Thought it had some cool spots. Like I said, the Hardys gonna be the Hardys. Going through tables. I thought those spooky Slim Jim tables were a nice little touch. Maybe a little much with the Slim Jim logo and the pumpkin. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I was surprised to see Matt do some of the things that he did, given his back situation. The fact that he was able to still do like leg drops and all kind of things like that. Like I felt like that was pretty cool. So shout out to him for that. Just shout. What's good? What's good? Just showing up some of these chats, y'all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all, man. Hey man, well I appreciate y'all tuning in that have been in here so far. Like I said, Dark State getting the titles back. I mean, it does it for somebody. It doesn't do it for me. I wouldn't have been mad at the Hardys keeping it a little longer, but I understand that we all know that they just got this so they can add to their already legendary resume. Those were titles they never had before. Now they can say they had them, right? So, is what it is. I don't know, man. This tag team division in NXT is still kind of building, and it still needs some extra juice added to it. So I don't know, man. Hopefully, somebody. I'm thinking. My guess is probably OTM since they just came back. Maybe OTM versus Dark State. If OTM is really doing it for you guys, I don't know. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Um, Moving on, though, we're going on to our next contest. Jeff still doing. Yes, yes. The streets say Jeff still. Yes, man. Jeff is still doing it. Like I said, Jeff is gonna be Jeff. The Hardys gonna be the Hardys. I'm a Hardy for life, man. Y'all already know, man. I made a song about the Hardy Boys. Come on now, I feel like a Hardy boy. Yeah. But anyways, no, Jeff still Jeffing, man. And shout out to him. He took a couple of bumps where I was just like, but that's how Jeff built, man. He built different. All right, y'all. So going on really after this, we go into our main event really. This is where we had Ricky Saints go one-on-one with Trick Williams. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. This match was good. It was good. Again, I don't I okay. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Like this one ended very abruptly for me. I expected it, especially for a main event. I expected that match to go a lot longer than it did. And I said the women's match between Blake Monroe and Zarya was the shortest match, but it really feels like this match might have been the shortest match. And if it was, that's a bit of a letdown given that that's the main event. Like your main event should definitely be longer, right? I would think. But I don't know, because I was pretty hyped for this one. Like I like their charisma, and I knew both of them have that like pizzazz and that swag. So I felt like, yo, surely you guys would most definitely put on a banger of a contest. I don't know, man. I just felt a little underwhelmed with this one. It kind of reminded me of like how with Trick and Mello. Remember how we were like hyped for it, but the matches themselves didn't deliver the way we kind of hoped they would based off the feud, right, that they had and the story and the history that Trick and Mello had. Their matches didn't come off as memorable. And that's kind of what this is. And some may say that's on Trick. I don't know because he's had good matches. So I don't know. It's a matter up for opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Is Trick Williams that guy when it comes to his in-ring matches? Do you think he has a solid resume so far? Or do you think he's still like what are we thinking here? I think he's at peak level right now because since he went heel, he's given that old school rock vibe, but he's also given that like Booker T vibe and stuff like that. Like he got a swag and a thing about him. But I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know. But overall, I guess my main gripe, like I said, I didn't like the tornado DDT. Like Ricky Saints, man, I understand why that happened probably with Obafemi because he's such a big individual that a guy like Ricky, you would think, okay, how do you beat somebody like Oba? Let's get multiple tornado DDTs. But to do one tornado DDT on Trick Williams and that be the end, I don't know. That just didn't sit right with me, man. Like, what about the Rochambeau? Surely you could do that on Trick. I understand why you probably couldn't do it on Oba, but he could do that on Trick. And that's what I thought he was going to beat him with, but he beat him with the Tornado DDT. And to me, that just felt like for real? That's it? So I don't know, y'all. I mean, overall, I felt like it could be better. It was good, not great. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say it was okay. Yeah, it was okay. This match was okay for a main event. I thought it could have been better, but it is what it is. Overall, I would say from top to bottom, on paper, this card definitely had potential. We chopped about it in the chat. Me, Gresh, and Jermaine. Gresh thought this was booty cheeks, as y'all know. I thought it had the ability to slap, and Jermaine said it had a lot of potential. So I don't know, man. Y'all let me know, to those who did watch Halloween Havoc. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think it lived up to its potential? Do y'all think it was in the middle, in that gray area? Not too great, not too good? Because to me, I think the high point of this show was Tatum Paxley winning, because that was the only true unpredictable part. Well, no, because a lot of people picked the Hardys. I know in our chat, we all picked the Hart. No, I think Jermaine might have picked Dark State. I might be wrong, but I got to go back and look at the predictions. But nonetheless, if you take Dark State retaining and Tatum Paxley winning, most of this card was pretty predictable, right? For the most part. But still a fun show. No match on here was bad at all. I felt like every match was either solid, great, or okay, right? So, in terms of grade, I'd give this Halloween Havoc for this year a solid. I'd probably say about a B minus. I'll give it a B minus. More so because of the moment with Tatum Paxley. I felt like that was a great moment for her, and again, Dr. Wagner Jr. I almost said Von Wagner because I was thinking of Von Wagner from back in the day. Oh my gosh. Uh, Wagner Jr. and Ethan Page, I think, stole the show pretty well. I think they did pretty good with what they had with that Day of the Dead match. But aside from that, man, solid show. Make sure y'all check it out if you hadn't checked it out. If you're not in a rush to check it out, it's not one of those shows I say, hey, make sure you go out your way to check it out. If you missed it, check it out when you feel like it. If you didn't and you're like me and you watched it in the moment, there might be some moments you go back and rewatch. Like I might rewatch this show maybe on Halloween Day. Maybe, maybe not. Just depends on what I'm doing, right? Nonetheless, though, moment of the night definitely goes to Tatum Paxley. Match of the night for me goes to Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner Jr. And overall, man, solid show. Good B minus. Uh, Thank y'all so much for tuning in with your boy. I mean, as you know, that's all we got for you, really. It was just going to be a post show, not going to be before you long. We kept it right under 30 minutes. My goal was to get it to about 30 minutes. So, without further ado, man, I'm going to go ahead and get on off this thing, man. I appreciate y'all who tuned in, dropped by, left a comment, all that good stuff. Y'all the real MVPs. Make sure you keep it locked, tune in every Tuesday night right there for Gresh Unleashed every Tuesday night with myself and the crew. You know what I'm saying? We in here. We're going to make y'all laugh. We're going to be goofy, all that good stuff. I'm a little chill right now. I would be goofy. But hey, it's a 9 o'clock going on 10 o'clock kind of night. Well, it's already 10 o'clock if you're on the East Coast, right? Darn near 11. So that being said, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you follow me on all platforms at Hi-Lite Life. That is HILITE Life. Follow all things Mike Mayhem Music. Got some new music that should be dropping to y'all pretty soon. Freestyles, things like that. So make sure you keep it locked on that. And of course, I can't leave without saying scan that QR code right up there. Make sure and follow all things. Make sure with the Gresh Unleashed theme, y'all run up the streams on that. Continue to go up and follow all things Gresh. Follow my boy at It's Gresh. And make sure you give him a happy birthday shout out. It's not too late. It's still his birthday. So if you forgot to shout my boy out, make sure you go show him some birthday love. As always, we are catching y'all on the fly for the next exciting episode of Gresh Unleashed. This has been the 2025 Halloween Havoc post show. It's your boy Hi-Lite Real signing out. Peace. We out. Y'all be breezy.